I don't know if I can do this one without laughing, Jack.
And that's okay.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I am your host, the Ranting Monkey. He is our friend Jack. Say hi, Jack.
Hi, everybody.
Jack, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing okay. How about yourself?
I'm in a good mood. We'll leave it at that. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't normally give you any kind of warnings. The first story we're going to talk about today is sexually charged. Please, please, please make sure you don't have children in the room.
It's going to get silly.
It's going to get silly. There's going to be some words that we're going to say that you don't, and we're going to repeat them over and over again. That's probably the biggest issue is the repetition. There's one word we can't say because we did go live on YouTube. We can't say what he called Matt Damon. We have to allude to that.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon. Anyway, guys, I have a childish mind. Well, tonight is the night for it, Officer Buck. Good God. Rudy Giuliani, Jack. Rudy. I haven't paid much attention to Rudy Giuliani, honestly, since he was mayor of New York. His one failed presidential campaign, I mean, did anybody pay attention to that?
I bet Rudy Giuliani did.
Maybe for a couple of minutes. And him as Trump's lawyer, I really don't care. It never really bothered me because I don't care about the individuals involved unless there's something about them that's important. You know what I mean? So in this case, I just really haven't paid much attention to him. He pops up in the news, and if he does, we talk about him for a second, then move on. But tonight I couldn't stop myself. We got to talk about this guy. So Rudy Giuliani's being sued, Jack. He's being sued for, what is it? Is it $2 or $10 million? I forget which. Let's bring the story up on the screen, shall we? Is Rudy Big Tits Giuliani too filthy to arrest? Excerpts from a recent civil suit may explain his apparent immunity. I don't understand how this would make him immune. I think maybe the author's being tongue in cheek there or something. I have no idea.
I think it's a bit disingenuous because calling him Big Tits, he's not the one with the big tits.
Well, but it's his, giving him that nickname after these releases. I could see that.
No, I mean I think that he would be the claimant, as we shall see.
Yes, he's definitely the claimant.
But calling him Big Tits implies that he's the one with the big tits, not.
Or it could be something he's known for.
I guess, but it doesn't seem fitting.
Unlike his famous client, Rudy Giuliani, a.k.a. Co-Conspirator 1, I'm still not convinced Co-Conspirator 1 is Giuliani. I think it is, but I still think it could be Powell as well. There's like 4 lawyers named as the co-conspirators, and a couple of them are overlapping. It's probably him, yeah. But just saying. Has thus far managed to avoid being criminally indicted. Oh, well, let me explain that to you. He's not running for president.
Yeah. He's not a current threat to the establishment. So
yeah. That's the real reason. It has nothing to do with these tapes, although they're funny as shit. But Donald Trump wouldn't be being indicted right now if he wasn't running for president. We all fucking know that. This is their attempt to, as Biden said, constitutionally keep him from ever getting in office again. He has, however, managed to embroil himself in all manner of civil litigation thanks to both the election interference as well as his own personal proclivities. Now, in the election interference, there was a case I don't think we even talked about it, where Giuliani came out and admitted, I'm using air quotes, you guys can't see it, but he admitted to lying in a lot of these cases with who is doing what and election interference. And I don't really want to get into it too deeply. But I will say this, because there's a lot of people who trumpeted, he said he lied. If you actually read the agreement that he signed, he's saying he's doing it basically to make it all go away. He doesn't really agree with it, but if it'll make it go away, he'll say it.
Yeah.
And nobody pays attention to that part.
Real quick, two things. First, Otho's birthday is coming up here in a few hours, so we have to sing him happy birthday at some point. And thank you, Evolved Potato. It's taking over 2 hours to download Baldur's Gate 3. Such bad connection, like the worst anyone could have. Oh, hey, Monkey, didn't see you there. Can you believe how long it's taking to download over 100 gigs?
Mine took about 5 hours and I was asleep. Thank God for Starlink, man. You said Otho?
Yeah.
Otho, it's your birthday in a couple of hours, but close enough that we are going to do this. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday
to
to you.
Happy birthday
to you. Happy birthday, dear Otho.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday. Hope you have a great one. Really, really do. I hope that starts it off on a good note. All right. Back to Mayor Giuliani. Otho, I'm so sorry to have to do that as we're talking about this, because it's going to get kind of gross here. I apologize. Indeed, America's mayor has fashioned himself into something of a case study on how far one man can fall. You know, that's fair. Whether or not the cases against him are won by the litigants against him or not, from where he was as America's mayor, everybody, or at least a lot of people, expecting him to eventually turn that into being president, to now mostly being a joke. Yeah, it's impossible to say the guy hasn't fallen.
I think there were a lot of people that overvalued his ability.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was the person that was needed on 9/11. He was America's mayor then. That was,
Yep.
He did a good job then. But that doesn't mean that skill set and him being the person at the time that was needed would translate to another era or another job or anything like that. He kind of already had his moment, you know?
I still think that if he was really looking to move on in politics, he should have ran for governor first.
Yeah, I agree.
And then use that, or maybe even try to go to the Senate, because that's another way people go up to the presidency. But do you remember his campaign? Because the dude, he jumps in like mid-campaign. Like, what who told you to do that? But it was a big. I just got in, guy's a pervert. We'll get to it. Once you've leaked your hair dye on national television, held a press conference in a landscaper's parking lot across from a porn shop, that's going to be relevant later, and grabbed your tram, I don't know how I say that word, in a Borat film, are there depths of humiliation still left left unplumbed? Turns out there are, because Giuliani is now embroiled in a $10 million lawsuit brought in May by former employee named Noelle Dunphy, in which she alleges that Giuliani engaged in an astounding pattern of sexual assault, labor violations, and breaches of his duty as her attorney. That part is important as we go further. He was her attorney. We need to keep that, on our minds as we read further. Dunphy's complaint was full of salacious allegations and references to recordings she made of Giuliani. For instance, she wrote that Giuliani offered to represent her pro bono in a previously filed suit against her former romantic partner, but then offered to pay her to drop the claim if she would sleep with him. That seems like a malpractice as a lawyer at the very least.
Could be.
Giuliani told Dunphy, now this is still all alleged, although she has some recordings. Giuliani told Dunphy that he wanted her to end her domestic violence litigation because he felt it was interfering with his sex life with her, and he did not want to be distracted by it. Giuliani promised Miss Dunphy that he would give her $300,000 in exchange for her waiving her legal rights against her ex-abusive boyfriend if she would, quote, fuck me like crazy. After realizing what he had said, Giuliani attempted to backtrack and stated, we won't put that last part. will say for other considerations not appropriate to mention. This conversation was recorded. Tall
Sounds like
person, thank.
prostitution.
It kind of does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Tall person, thank you. Happy National Watermelon Day. And remember, this show is brought to you by you. Thank you so much for the donation. And you're right. And happy Watermelon Day to you. Dude, we have watermelon in the fridge right now. That shit is good.
I don't have any watermelon.
We went to the store one day. Well, me and the middle little, we go to the store. And she says to me, we need to get watermelon. I was like, okay. She goes, Dad said he was going to get it and he forgot. I was like, oh, all right. So I got her some and she didn't eat any of it. She had like 2 pieces of it. But I ate the shit out of it. So last time Lady Monkey went shopping, I only got like 2 little wedges, but Lady Monkey got a big ass watermelon. And yeah, I've been dogging on that shit. And it's entirely, I'm just trying to, make things nicer before we get into the rest of this. All right, the rest of the article, which I will go ahead.
Thank you. Yu Tanaka, who says, Konnichiwa, love the show. Happy Clean Your Floors Day. Oh, thank you. I'm not going to clean my floor today, just out of spite. Mostly because I'm lazy and I ran out of pine salt. But that's neither here nor there. Thank you for the donation.
Okay, so we're not going to read the rest of this article. The only important part there is it goes on to say that Giuliani tried to squash the more salacious stuff and claim that it was all made up. And she came back with the transcripts. And we're going to take a look at some of those, Jack. Seriously, ladies and gentlemen, do not have your children in the room.
Or even in earshot.
Yeah, not in earshot. So this is the first of the pages that we have. Mr. Giuliani says, indiscernible. And they go, you make me feel better when I'm upset. I hope I make you feel better when you're upset. And she says, you do. There's a lot of indiscernibles in here. I'm just going to say that word when it happens. Mr. Giuliani, indiscernible, so smart, so much potential. Indiscernible, this tremendous attraction to you physically. I can't think about you or I get hard. I got to be honest, Jack, when I first read this, I had to stop there and gag a little. I did not need to imagine Rudy Giuliani's boner.
And yet you were. Interesting.
It's impossible at that point. Because as soon as you're like, oh, I don't need it. Oh, God, I'm picturing it. Fuck. Do you think it has a bad dye job that leaks down the head?
No. It's on the pubes, so it leaks down the shaft.
It's on the shaft and balls.
Yeah. And when it gets hard, it looks like racing stripes.
Oh, you know what? Nut says I'm eating. Okay, I should have warned people. If you're eating, this gets kind of gross at times.
Yeah, we've always started. This is the warm-up.
Love you, Nut. Sorry. All right. Even if I think about how smart you are, I'll get hard. I'd never think about a girl being smart. That's kind of sexist.
Tiny girl brains.
Accurate. If you told me a girl was smart, I would often think she's not attractive. And then indiscernible. She's smart. She must be ugly as shit. Frosted Glass, thank you. Cannot wait to clip Monkey saying all this. I hope you have fun with it. What an inopportune moment to tune in. Sorry, scum. So he thinks women are stupid or ugly, one or the other. And finding out that a woman can be smart makes his wiener a little attentive. I guess that's a good thing to learn about yourself in your 70s.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he knew that the smart chicks got him raging a long time ago, and he just thought all ugly chicks were super smart.
Maybe. I don't know. Does this mean, because he was married. Is he still married?
I don't think so.
Does this mean he thinks his wife or ex-wife was stupid or ugly? Which one?
I am not one to judge, but she's probably ugly because, he's no...
Have you seen? Yeah, he looks like a troll.
Yeah. Let's just say if he was Harry Potter, in the Harry Potter universe, he'd be at Gringotts.
He would. He looks like he should be under a bridge with Fauci.
Yeah. He's not as bad as Fauci, thankfully, but there's only room for so many no's.
He's getting there. That dude's ugly as fuck. All right. Next up, we have Giuliani saying, "You are my bitch," and Miss Dumphy says, "Indiscernible bitch." Giuliani says, "You're my whore. You're my fucking slut."
Oh, hold on. Let me read that properly. Let me pull that
Please
up.
do. Please do.
You're my bitch. Bitch. You're my whore. You're my fucking slut. Oh.
I can't do the accent. That's not fair. This look, I said this to you before the show, and I really should say it here. There is, we all know when we're behind closed doors with somebody, we can get kind of nasty, right? And I don't know how fair it is to judge him based on this, other than the fact that he's in a lawsuit for sexual harassment, and this makes him look guilty as fuck.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of depends if this is mutual or not. Like, dirty
Fair.
talk is...
Well, he is her lawyer.
Yeah, so was Stormy Daniels had a lawyer, and sure, he absconded with all her money, but they were probably banging.
Yeah, but your lawyer's not supposed to be trying to bang you.
That's supposed to be, but I have a large documentary collection that says this is all totally acceptable.
That's fair too. That's fair too.
Maybe she couldn't pay for his bills and was like, "I can't pay my legal bills." He's like, "Let me show you my legal briefs."
Yeah, my hoe. So I do think that that part of this is a little bit unfair because people say crazy shit behind closed doors. Y'all know
I'm
you do.
Dirty talking pervert. So
yeah, there's a lot of dirty talking perverts out there, and there's nothing wrong with it, unless it's inappropriate, as this relationship seems to have been.
Yeah.
Okay, we're coming to my favorite part, Jack.
You want me to read this?
Please do. Please do.
Come here, big tits. Come here, big tits. Your tits belong to me. Give them to me. Indiscernible. I want to claim my tits. I want to claim my tits. I want to claim my tits. These are my tits.
See, wait. This is why I say calling him Rudy Big Tits Giuliani is perfectly fair.
No, I don't. They're his tits. They're just not on him.
I want to claim my tits. What the fuck?
Miss Dumphy. Oh, yeah. These breasts belong to me. Nobody else gets near these, okay? I don't care if they're flirting or they give you business cards. These are mine, you got it? Yes. Understand? I'm very fucking possessive. I've gone easy on you. I don't know. I've been easy on you. You're pretty tough on me. I've been easy on you. Give them to me. Maybe.
I love the maybe at the end there too.
Yeah.
Real quick, thank you, Alan, for the donation. I appreciate it, my friend. I hope you are well. Oh my God, come here, big tits. Gentlemen in the audience, have you ever looked at your wife or your girlfriend or somebody you were banging and been like, "Come here, big tits"? I'm gonna try that on my wife. I'll let you guys know how it goes.
You're gonna let us know how your black eye's doing afterwards.
Yes. Mess says Rudy did a date course. It seems like it. Fuck me, man.
Get on that webcam. Show me that webcam footage.
Those titties are mine.
Yeah, I wish I could do the voice better because he has that like the New York accent, which I can't really do, and then the lisp on top of that. So I'm doing my best here.
I think you're close enough that it's pretty good.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's coming through pretty well. It would be nice for somebody to get a deep fake machine on this.
Oh my God, yes. Rudy Giuliani erotica needs to happen somewhere.
Yes.
Some parallel universe that's already a thing.
Oh my God. All right. So the next page is just disturbing. We'll get to it in a minute. As disturbing as the first page was with him talking about his pecker, this one was just comic relief, and I needed it by the time I got to hear the story.
Yeah. Oh, real quick. Thank you, Alan, who says, hello, guys. Hey, Alan. Hope you're doing well.
I just love how he repeats himself. It's
Yeah.
come here, big tits. Come here, big tits. Your tits belong to me. Give them to me. I want to claim my tits. I want to claim my tits. I want to claim my tits. He sounds like a kid at the Chuck E. Cheese counter trying to turn in his tickets.
Yeah, he's all super excited,
I want my
like jumping up and
tits.
down. I want my tits.
I want to claim him like he's going to plant a flag on her boobies.
He's
my
gonna
God.
tattoo his name.
Property of Rudy.
Yeah, crosses out Andrew Tate and puts his name.
All right.
All right,
You're
you
up.
ready? Every place. You were finding a little place in the woods. Get off the airplane in a new city. On the airplane, go right to the hotel. Give the indiscernible money. On the dining room table, yeah. And we go right ahead, wherever, on the floor of the living room as soon as we get in. We don't even make it to the bedroom. Yes. All the clothes come off. Oh, yes. Oh, God. Let the doorman wait outside to bring in the luggage. Wait. We need a little time alone. Yeah, I need a little time alone with my girlfriend here. That's right, with my daughter. That's right, with my little girl. That was in the...
Yep. That's what he said. With my daughter.
With my little girl.
With his big titty daughter.
To be fair, she's probably young enough to be his daughter.
Probably. I don't know what this chick looks like. I haven't seen her. If she was in the article, I didn't pay attention to the picture, but yeah, daughter. That's what he said.
Bubba Hotep, that took a turn.
Didn't it? Wow. This is why I said that the tapes show that he's a perv. This dude's a fucking pervert.
Oh, yeah, it got weird. Like, that was... I'd like to kind of know what's after that, because there's obviously another page.
Yeah.
So, was there more to this part of the conversation where he started like, and you're going, wow, like pigtails, and you're going to call me Big Daddy, and I'm going to stick my face in your titties.
Understatement says, stop. They're both into that. Some people like daddy-daughter play, and I find those people to be fucking weird. I don't do the daddy thing. That's fucking weird.
You go judge someone else, mister.
I'm just saying. I will still judge.
Maybe she likes it in the daddy hole.
Maybe. Come here, big tit daughter. Fucking weird, man.
Yeah, Brent, you're probably right. You have to pay to see the next page. Oh, dude, I would not be opposed to getting a full transcript of this and doing this as an audio drama.
Oh, yeah, that would be awesome. How would you... Okay, if you did that, it would probably be best if you had somebody read the Miss Dunphy lines.
Yeah.
Preferably a female. Now, would you have them act interested or disinterested? Because I think it would be funnier if she's disinterested.
I think so too. That's why I was doing it a little more deadpan with her. But I would, if I had the money in my ultimate reality, and I was able to do this as a full-fledged audio drama, I would hire the blonde chick from Modern Family who played Mrs. Dunphy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'd get her.
Yeah, especially for that part. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Have her just do a complete monotone. That would be fucking awesome. What was her name on that show? Claire. That was Claire on Modern Family. I don't know what her real name is.
Yeah, I don't remember what her real name is, but yeah, she'd be great for this. Or the oldest daughter.
Oh, yeah. The bubble-headed bitch.
Yeah.
All right. We got a next one.
Real quick. Thank you, Frosted Glass. I'd be surprised if she never reciprocated. You don't talk dirty to a chick if she tells you tells you off the first time. He was probably used to her liking it. Also, to be fair, I say the same stuff behind the scenes on the corner. They know their place. It's true.
Well,
it's true. He tells us all that we're a bunch of tits.
That's why I said, in fairness, I mean, I'm not sure how nice it is to judge him based on this, other than the fact he's her lawyer. That does change things a little bit. Especially if they have the transcripts of him offering her $300,000 to drop a case against somebody so that he can fuck her. I'm not wrong on that one.
No, but that's some really expensive poontang. You can get a lot of whores for that.
It's like $300,000 to drop this case against this guy you say be. Now, Giuliani, in his defense, he says that she has a lot of cases like this where she sues ex-boyfriends. And that's fair, but how many of them were her lawyer at the time? Because that does make a difference. Lawyers not supposed to sleep with their clients. I believe they started a relationship before he offered to represent her in the case. All right. I'm not sure how much that matters when it comes to offering somebody $300,000 so you can fuck them. All right, Jack, you're on.
All right. I want to own you officially. Oh, yeah. Legally with a document. Put your name on.
Was he proposing? Is this a weird way to propose?
Oh, it might have been. Or he was entering into some sort of like 1860s slave negotiation. I'm not sure. Like, is he conscripting her? Is this a Shanghai effort to get her to be a sailor?
When I read this part, it really sounds like a weird way to, because I want to own you officially, put your name, on a document. I mean, that's what happens when you get married. You're mine, I'm yours. We signed a paper, then told the government that's what we're doing.
Maybe he was going to use her as a trailer.
Maybe. I don't know.
He bought a new pickup truck, and he's like, I'm going to own you.
All right. From there, we get into some other stuff. Now, in this one, there's a word we can't use. When we get to that word, you can either just bleep it or whether. Guys, it is the F slur, not the F word. We can say fuck around here.
Yes.
But,
all right, you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Who are the other Republicans who are celebrities? I am not a Fed working for the DOJ trying to get them. Ain't too many. Brad, not Brad Pitt. The other guy that looks like him. Bradley Cooper? No, the other one. What the hell's his name? Well, Matt Damon is very liberal. No, Matt Damon is homosexual. Matt Damon is also 5'2". Eyes are blue. Cuckoo, cuckoo, coo. Coochie, co. Maybe.
What is with all the maybes?
I don't think she knew what to say. Maybe.
They were trying to figure out who somebody is, and yeah, I don't know where he goes on this weird Matt Damon. Look, I hate Matt Damon. His politics are shit. But he's 5'2", his eyes are blue, coochie, coo. Is this some weird poetry? Bitches like poetry, I hear.
Yeah, it's so strange haiku, but maybe it works for Giuliani. He just recites bizarre statements to women on the subway, and they're like, "Oh, I'm so wet, Mr. Mayor." And he's like, "I know, I have superpowers."
I don't really have a problem with him calling Matt Damon the F slur either. I'm not one of those people like, oh my God, you can never say that word. We're just not allowed to say it on YouTube. So,
yeah, let's just say it in our elementary school, he probably would have been getting smeared a lot.
Yeah, he was not calling the man a homosexual in this case. He was calling him a douchebag, twat, whatever word you want to use, but he wasn't actually saying, yeah, the dude bangs dudes. All right. Now we get to Rudy Giuliani explaining genetics to us.
Yes, eugenic. Or I mean, ready?
Yep.
The way natural selection works. Jewish men have small cocks because they can't use them after they get married, whereas the Italian men use them all their lives so they get bigger.
It's funny every time. Oh my God. I don't think that's how dicks work, dude.
Yes, that's science.
I guess so. One, are Jews not allowed to have sex after they get married?
No, I'm pretty sure that's like a law. They have to have sex through the pee hole of their union suits, and they can only do it like once every couple of years so they can have kids. I don't know. I don't know. This makes no goddamn sense to me. I mean, Ben Shapiro's got like 4 kids.
Look, I tend to believe he was probably joking here. I hope so, because if he means this sincerely, Jesus fucking Christ. And I don't think this necessarily belongs in a lawsuit about him being, a sexual deviant to her.
No, this is just inflammatory.
It's just inflammatory, yeah. So something like this would probably get thrown out unless they can find a way to say, yes, this absolutely belongs in that case, which I can't figure out how that would work.
False advertising, because he's saying he's got a big penis and maybe he's got like an average one.
No, he said cock.
Oh, yeah, maybe he doesn't actually own chickens.
Maybe he doesn't, not a single one. Lesser Logic said still hilarious. Yes, and that's why we're covering it.
Yeah, because we're sad, shallow people. We find it funny it's going in the show.
Look, I'm trying to be as charitable to him as I can be. But it's funny as shit. Travis Gardner, thank you. You should make shorts out of this. Oh, Jack, we totally should.
We'll get in trouble, but yes, we absolutely should.
Absolutely.
You could probably do one per page, honestly. Real quick though, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Ebony says either he's serious or he's trying to be funny while drunk. I think he's just trying to be funny, honestly.
Yeah, this sounds like the type of shit you like. Pillow talk. You're trying to get it relaxed in the mood and joke around.
It's some bravado shit.
Yeah. Thank you, Furry Kitten. To give them less than spiders and dust this month, even if it's just to stop the thigh gap whistling like a Stuka as they go down, at least it might stop the neighbors complaining. The neighbors never stop complaining. Stop mowing the lawns at 2 a.m. Stop staring in our window all creepily. Why are you in our tree? Who are you? Why do you keep getting our mail? Blah, 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 blah.
Oh, understatement. I don't want that comment to go away because, I think that's spot on. He says such a New York Italian thought process. Yeah. Just it's bravado. It's silly and it's funny as shit. But all right, we got one more.
All right, cue it up here. Jews, they want to go through that freaking path over all the time. Man, oh man, get over the path over. It was like 3,000 years ago. Okay, the Red Sea parted, Big Dale. Not the first time that happened.
Oh, fuck. I just want to know the context of this one. Because there's nothing around it to tell us what was going on. Just out of the blue, they're sitting there together watching TV, and he just Jews. They want to go through the freaking Passover all the time. I don't know what to tell the guy. I really don't. But this is funny. This has to be a joke. I mean, again, I think it's supposed to be in the vein of humor. But it's another one of those things that should not be in this case. It is purely inflammatory.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of people are going to look at this. Oh, look, he hates the Jews. He's making some jokes. Are they anti-Jewish? Yeah, of course they are. But I still believe they're in the vein of joking. That said, that's some funny shit. He's bitching about him celebrating Passover. I want to know. I need somebody to ask Giuliani how much longer Christians are allowed to celebrate Christmas. Or actually Easter. Either one, because those were both, a couple thousand years ago now.
Yeah.
I mean, get over it. The baby was born. It happens all the time. Fuck baby Jesus.
Wow. Yeah, I guess. They'll probably be like, that stupid rabbit. Tricks are for kids.
Sounds like he was roasting Don Rickles. Kind of, yeah. Kind of does. Again, I think especially those last two were probably him attempting to be humorous. They don't belong in this case at all. Not even a little bit. one of the things that Giuliani and his lawyer tried to shoot down in this is all the inflammatoriness of these recordings. Some of it is probably still pertinent to the case, the sexual talk. But this stuff is just, this should be thrown out. I do wonder now, because one of their claims, how are we going to, this is going to taint any jury pool if they see this. I don't want to say most, but liberals who see this, they're going to be, he hates the Jews. Look how anti-Semitic he is. I mean, before they even get into the jury room, they're going to have him guilty before the case even starts. So
yeah, I'm wondering what other context might surround this. Like, she's like, tell me Jew jokes, like you're Nick Fuentes. And he's like, all the Joes.
Yeah. Maybe he was pissed because there was like a Passover parade and he had to wait. I don't know.
Yeah, he got stuck in traffic or something.
I want to know why she was recording everything.
So she could sue him for
I guess
some money and get her name in the paper, write a book. America's dirty mayor.
Look, quite obviously, let's go back up to here. Quite obviously, this is pillow talk kind of stuff they've had before. Because while we play it straight, she's clearly into this.
Oh yeah. Obviously, we're doing some role play here.
So, I don't know. I just think it's funny. I think it's funny, and that's why we covered it. And Rudy, you a nasty boy. You a nasty motherfucker.
It's amateur hour.
All right, look, it is not. I've heard much worse pillow talk, of course, but good God, man, that's America's. That's Rudy Giuliani talking about his boner, man.
Yeah. Did you ever see Adam Levine's text messages that were like the sexting pillow talk?
No.
He's the lead singer of Maroon 5. He is really bad at it. He should talk to Giuliani and get some tips.
Learn. Hey, one of the things women like is when you call them your daughter.
Yeah. Tell them you want to bang them like they're your daughter in a hotel room while the porter guy is outside waiting for his tip, and then you gotta say things like, "Those tips are mine." Stake your claim.
Faithless says you talk about your dick every night. That is not true. Most nights. Yeah. I don't even know what to say after that, Jack. Is there anywhere to go from that? Is there anything?
I don't know. I'm not in charge of things.
Is there anything to glean from this situation?
Yeah,
there is actually. If you're a powerful man and there's a chance that a woman is anywhere near a recording device, stay away from her.
Yeah, well, assume that the person is a little bit more malicious than you think. See, he got honey trapped here.
I would say the same thing for women. If you're a powerful woman and suddenly there's this young dude, like he always has, I have to keep my phone with me. He's probably recording you.
Yeah.
And now it'll be a different kind of recording and it'll show up on Pornhub, but I'm just saying.
Principle doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And no, what you should do is always make sure cell phones are safely tucked away in another room.
Yeah.
Where on an end table or something in a basket where nobody's going to be able to record anybody except for your surveillance camera, which is there for your protection, possibly hidden in a book.
Faithless says that he's a human male. Yeah, I mean, look, we're a dirty species. We really are, and especially dudes. You ladies, you got to give us a little bit of leeway here. Because when we get aroused, a lot of our blood goes to our penis, and it's not in our brain. And so everything just sounds like the right thing to say. Devil Fruit, thank you. Speaking of Jews,
time to read ahead.
Well, it popped off the screen at the absolute wrong time. Just speaking of Jews, and silence is the wrong way to go. Thank you, Devil Fruit. Speaking of Jews, what do you call a cheap circumcision? A ripoff. Thank you so much.
Yeah, well,
that sounds painful. Yeah. All right. Well, I'd say we just move along because there other than laughing at the poor guy.
Since we're laughing at stupid, did you want to cover Al Sharpton?
What did I saw you had posted something that said put him on 24/7, but I didn't see why.
Oh, no, that's not what I said. But there's a link here in this site.
Which one is it? Bottom one?
It's the Twitter one.
That'd be the bottom one.
Yeah, it's the only video link.
I didn't know we were doing video. We do stories sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. Call me a Mike Lindell.
Oh, I did watch this. Yeah, I did. Okay. Yeah. I could have swore it was you who said put him on 24/7.
No, I said nobody tell him about the king.
Yeah. All right. So this is Al Sharpton going to the Trump indictment for our nightly checkup on that.
One day, our children's children will read American history. And can you imagine our reading that James Madison or Thomas Jefferson tried to overthrow the government so they could stay in power? That's what we're looking at. We're looking at American history.
Nobody tell him. Nobody tell him.
Yeah. And especially the examples you went with. I mean, you can make the argument that Jefferson didn't fight in the war, but he did write the Declaration. Yeah. Some of these people, their hatred makes them stupid. Yeah.
Yeah, well, derangement.
You're not wrong, but that's not an acceptable answer to me.
No, it's not. But he's one of those people that counts on everybody listening to him to not look anything up.
Or to be like, oh yeah, the founders would never fight to stay in power, unless you count the revolution that kicked it all off.
Oh, we just gloss over that monkey.
I am curious what the next part of this segment was. Like if either, because there were two other people there, like if either of them threw something at him and said, stop being stupid.
I highly doubt it.
If one of them looked at him and said, come here, big tits.
Let me see your big tits, Sharpton. We know you used to be fat.
Yeah, backwards stupidity makes him hateful. I think it goes both ways, honestly. I think it's a circle.
It's a circle. Like titties.
Yeah, fucking Al Sharpton. What a retard. But there's so many of them in the press, man. I mean, we watched Chris Hayes last night compare January 6th to the firing on Fort Sumter, the kickoff of the Civil fucking war.
Yeah.
Because they're retards, man. Especially at MSNBC. As dumb as CNN is, and there's a lot of retardation going on at CNN, they got nothing on the folks at MSNBC. It's almost like kicking retarded children to make fun of MSNBC. And by almost, I mean, because I'm not actually physically kicking, they are actually retarded.
Yeah. Which, maybe I'd find funny. I don't know.
They're just, a lot of times, they're just so outrageously stupid. You can't even have hope for them. You know what I mean? They're lost causes most of the time. All right. Does this have no, that's not the one. I want the clip of Nick Fuentes. Where is that? So I wake up today, Jack, and didn't sleep for shit, feeling horrible. And Fugi sent me a link to a live stream that was going on. All right, I'll click on it and I'd look on, and it's Nick Fuentes on a panel with a whole bunch of people. And I'm just kind of partially paying attention to it as I'm, waking up and looking at Twitter. And then this moment happens, and I laughed so fucking hard, I actually hurt myself a little bit. So I don't know who this chick is, but them boobies were distracting. I'm just saying. But we're gonna watch the bald-headed guy.
Nick, I just want to know respectfully, and I ask this respectfully. Do you find it difficult to find a wife that would be okay with you having a micro penis?
I laughed so hard, Jack. This was in the middle of an actual conversation that they were having. I forget which part it was, whether it was about the Kanye stuff or something else, but he stops him in the middle to ask Nick about his micro penis. Kudos, sir. Kudos.
I thought his follow-up question was good too.
I'm not sure if that one's in here because I think that came a little later on, didn't it?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a few minutes later. Real quick.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Double Fruit Zero. Hey Jack, did you see that skeletal vegan lady died of starvation? Pretty hot, right? Anyway, money for you, good sir. Yeah, well, her body wasn't that bad. She just needed a little meat.
She
injection.
died of hunger, dude.
She died of malnutrition. That's not the same as hunger. She was eating,
malnutrition. Malnutrition makes it even worse that you said she had an okay body.
It's not my fault. People can't attain hotness as much as they would like.
Yeah, we didn't cover that story. She's some kind of influencer. Where was she? Was it Germany, Australia? I forget. But yeah, little vegan starved herself to death. Okay, malnutritioned herself to death.
Just trying to look good for her man.
Shocking.
Thank you for your kid. A priest and a mom and a nun walked into a bar. The rabbi sat in the corner. They stood up and stormed out, muttering, "This is a fucking joke." He was correct. Thank you, Furry.
You're making me look better the way you do that.
I mean, if I was 40 years younger,
Are you interested in my penis? You want to go and see it somewhere?
No, I just think if I was 40 years younger and you took 12 inches off my dick, you'd probably try to fuck
Nima,
me.
that's not even about.
That's distasteful, is what that is.
Yeah, that got a little personal.
It did. That guy, I'm not even sure why they brought him on, unless it was for comedy relief, because the parts that I was watching, everybody was having a discussion. Nick's still an idiot because he's Nick, but they were at least having a good faith discussion, and he would chime in with some little dick comments, which is still funny, but was it the right venue? I don't know. I'll still laugh because it was Nick getting told he had a little dick to his face. And then he whines about how he's getting ganged up on there and how it makes him look better. Stop whining. I realize you look 5, but you're not. You're a grown-ass man. You should be able to defend your beliefs against however many people come. And if you can't, St. Fugi said he made it watchable. I guess. I was actually enjoying the conversation because the other gentleman on the stage, well, I don't remember his name, the one that's sitting 2 to the right of it's Nick's left, but right on the screen. That guy was actually engaging and actually whipping Nick's ass with facts. So, whatever. A little bit of a derailment actually helped Nick out, I think, honestly. Mike Sartain. Okay.
He had time to talk about something other than his little wiener.
Yeah.
Thank you, Vault Potato. There is a way to respond to this question properly. You say that their mother, wife, girlfriend hasn't had any complaints yet. Mother's a good go-to if you don't know the person has a wife or girlfriend. Yeah.
No. Mother is always the go-to on that. Your mom ain't complaining. That's all you gotta say. You win.
Yeah, because you're just gonna make them mad.
Good.
Thank you again, Furry Kitten. In case of choking, just pull back 2 inches, pat her on the head, and say, "Good girl." Fact.
I want them tits. I'm gonna claim my titties.
Let me read that in Giuliani voice. In case of choking, just pull back 2 inches, pat her on the head, and say, "Good girl. You're my daughter."
I am actually so excited about tomorrow walking up to Lady Monkey and saying, "Come here, big tits." Maybe I'll just start with saying I want to claim my tits. Just chant, I want to claim my tits at her over and over until she smacks me or something. All right, Jack. Now we have some more actual kind of news stories, and I'm very curious on your opinion on this one. Former Fox News reporter ordered by judge to reveal anonymous source.
Yeah, Catherine Heritage. I saw this.
Former Fox News reporter was ordered by a federal judge to reveal the identity of a confidential source, a highly unusual case of a plaintiff's right to legal discovery being placed above the First Amendment protections of a journalist. We can read more if you want me to, but I'm more curious on the premise overall. I have a problem with journalists hiding behind their right to not reveal a source. I think there's absolutely times that the state's interest overrides because it's not stopping the journalists from doing anything. Their claim is like, hey, if we don't have confidential sources, well, people won't tell us shit. Oh my God, you might have to do your job. You might actually have to go investigate. So but I also see the other side of it where I can see it being used as a vindictive, if like Jack Smith got a hold of something like that, I can see it being vindictive rather than an actual state interest. So I'm kind of torn on it. And I was wondering how you feel on that.
I'm kind of the same way. I go back and forth on it because on one hand, there are some things that you could only get if somebody leaks it to you. But at the same time, if there's a crime involved, so I kind of want to know more about the case before I come down on that. But honestly, I don't know.
I mean, I think it's 30 states, and it might be mentioned in this article. 30 states have shield laws for this.
Yeah.
There's no federal law for this. One has been offered a few times. I believe there's one going through Congress again right now, but it always ends up getting shot down, or actually mostly it gets dumped in the Senate. The House passes it, and the Senate just doesn't even take it up. I just don't feel like that's what freedom of press means. So it's hard. This one's a hard one for me. But here's the case. The ruling issued by Judge Christopher Cooper of the District Court of the District of Columbia ordered now CBS News senior correspondent Catherine Heritage, yeah.
Heritage,
I had it right. Fuck me. To disclose her source in depositions. The reporting was for a series of 2017 articles about a Chinese-American scientist who subsequently sued the U.S. government for privacy invasions. Heritage was a staff reporter for Fox News when the stories were published. The order corresponds to a lawsuit filed by Yanping Chen against the FBI and other federal investigative agencies, alleging that Chen's privacy was violated when Heritage reported that the scientist was the subject of a federal counterintelligence investigation. Chen says the information was improperly leaked by federal authorities. Heritage, whatever. I don't care what her name is. Catherine, is that better? Leave me alone, Prospero. By the way, how you doing, sweetheart? So there you go, Jack. The reporter in this case, Catherine, she's being ordered to reveal her source, who Chen thinks was somebody in the FBI or in another government agency who leaked to the press that she was under investigation. Now, what do you think?
I don't know. I'm still on the fence about this. I get why she would want to keep this quiet so you can use that source again, but I don't know, man.
But doesn't it, I mean, if the question, and I hear you, and I share your reservations there, but in this case, if the idea is that her rights were violated by them sharing stuff that should have been secret, if it was an actual person within the FBI, that would prove it.
Yeah.
Beyond a shadow of a doubt. Yeah, they did this. So what about a judge looking at it and being able to say yes or no? And in this case, a judge did. They say, but the judge actually getting to hear who it was.
Yeah, I mean, if it's pertinent to the case, I get it. But a lot of times this is just the prosecution trying to get revenge on somebody by finding out who it is so they can punish them. So
And again, that's where my reservation comes in.
yeah.
I don't want the government to just be beating down reporters so that they can retaliate against the source.
Yeah.
On the other hand, like in this case, this is pertinent information or possibly pertinent information. Now, this hasn't gone any further. Catherine hasn't, at least according to this story, she hasn't said whether or not she's going to comply. She may, take the contempt of court.
Yeah.
I just think there's some cases where one, it's not a right. First of all, it's just not a right. It's not part of what freedom of press meant. It's really not. You can look it up. Freedom of press was actually more about talking shit about your government, not necessarily having some inside information that Jefferson's stooping one of his slaves. I almost said maids. That's not even close to correct.
Plus, wasn't a slave at the time.
But it wasn't about protecting revealed sources or sources that could be revealed. That's something that could have been written in. And over the last 250 years, Congress at any point could have already passed a shield law for this and never has.
Yeah. No, because they don't want anything about them coming out. And then the person will have blanket immunity. So they want to be able to get even with, they want to Hillary somebody.
Prospero says, oh, go ahead.
Oh, thank you, RJ. At Green Lady Gray. Where do bad rainbows go? In Prism. It's a light sentence, but it gives them time to reflect.
Nice. But Prospero says the current administration has a reason to want to go after Heritage. We're calling her Catherine because I can't pronounce that properly.
Heritage. It's like heritage, but with a D.
I'm still calling her Catherine.
Okay.
She's not an administration stooge journalist. And I hear you. But in this case, I mean, this actually goes more to the kind of stuff that Jim Jordan is looking into. The corruption of the federal government being used against citizens. The power of the federal government being turned on them. Because somebody leaked that there was an investigation which hurt her.
Yeah. Well, the person that leaked the information is probably going to end up dead, or at least their career is going to be destroyed. So,
Prospero is still trying to get us to say this correctly. It's Her Ridge.
No, it's not. It's Heritage. Because she worked at Fox News, and I used to watch her all the time. She was their national security consultant.
You know what? Now her name is Smith. Catherine Smith. I'm actually okay with the judge with this order because I want to know what fucking piece of shit FBI guy leaked this shit and why. And I want the FBI punished when they're doing this kind of bullshit. We already know. Imagine if we had somebody. Let's take one of the Trump cases, right, where all of this shit is being leaked. It's clearly coming from the prosecution while they're running out there, going to the judge, going, "Hey, you have to have a gag order on Trump." Meanwhile, they're fucking leaking like a sieve.
Mm-hmm.
And Trump were to turn around to sue one of the journalists who had some of this information to find out who was leaking this shit, to prove once and for all, yes, it's coming from these dirty fucking corrupt prosecutors. Would you be okay with it then?
Probably not.
Because I would, because to me it's similar to this case. Our government being dirty, to me it's the same thing as any other expose.
I think that there should be some protection in place for the leaker, though, because if they're leaking something as important as this, they need to have whistleblower protection so that they can't get fired for telling the press what's about the nasty shit the government's doing.
But here's the thing. This person who was the leaker was the one doing the nasty thing. They're the ones.
Then it's not the same.
Yeah, they leaked that she's being investigated, which wasn't something that was supposed to be being leaked to the public. She's claiming an invasion of her privacy there.
Oh.
So, fuck the FBI is where I'm stuck, I guess.
Yeah, I have no respect for them after all the stuff they've been doing the last couple of years, at least. Yeah. I didn't respect them after, 30 years ago. But I have a lot less respect for them now because they're obviously doing a lot of politically corrupt stuff, and they deserve to be have all their nasty crimes exposed.
Faithless says, are they leaking crimes or misdeeds, or are they gossiping? I would argue in this case, it's basically gossip. And they do this shit to people all the time. All the fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll be like, look, we don't know who the leaker is. Look at what happened all during Trump's presidency with Adam googly-eyed, what's his name? Schiff. We know that motherfucker his office was leaking shit constantly. No fucking repercussions for it.
No, why would they want to do that? He was leaking against their enemies.
Yeah. And that's where I have that's where I keep coming back to it. You're right. If it was done, there should be protections in place. But then I'm like, the FISA court's supposed to have protections in place, and look what's happened there. So I guess in a perfect world, it'd be like, yes, we have somebody who looks at it and decides yes or no. But we don't live in a perfect world, so probably err on the side of caution, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess that's where I'm at. Yeah. I really want to find out who it was, though. I really want whoever it was to pay for their bullshit. Anyway.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, right. It would have to go through justice, if anything. I mean, she's suing the government. Maybe she'll get a couple of dimes or a sorry from them. And that'll be the closer we get to actual justice.
Yeah.
All right. Don't care about that. The American Association of Pediatrics, Jack. We've talked about them a few times because they are a shitbag group of pediatricians who, with no evidence whatsoever, came out in support of gender-affirming care so that their doctors could line their fucking pockets.
Well, yeah. They like money.
They really do. They have been. I'm not going to pull up the whole story because, well, it's New York Times and I didn't archive it first. That's my bad. Medical group backs youth gender treatments but calls for research review. The AAP.
What?
The AAP has finally, after tremendous pressure, commissioned a systemic review of the evidence for gender-affirming care. So what this means is that they're going to have a review to see if any of the evidence is actually worth a shit. And here's the problem. It's not going to matter. They could find that there's absolutely zero reason to do gender-affirming care to children, and they would still recommend it. You know how I know this, Jack?
Because they want to be good people.
Because there's zero reason to believe any of the flimsy fucking evidence that they point to. Already.
You have so much hate in your heart. Look, this is so the children don't, end themselves. Oh, they're so monstrous.
Yeah. Faithless says it's like letting the FBI investigate the FBI. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. And Prospero says the damage is already done. Yeah, even if they did come out and reverse and go, you know what? Yeah, this doesn't make sense. Like a lot of European countries have started to do.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they did that, the damage is already done for so many people.
Well, they really like money. So it's okay because they're going to make a lot of money off these kids for their entire lives.
Getting that genie back in the bottle is not, I don't even know if it's possible.
That's a interesting euphemism.
I know, right? But at least on paper, they're going to look into it finally. They flat refused. I think it was back in May. They flat refused. Hell no, we're not going to look into this.
Yeah. Look into it and find piles of money, maybe.
The AMA and the AAP are two really fucking dirty organizations. And in the case of gender affirming care, both of them latched on the flimsiest of fucking evidence.
Oh, monkey. They didn't latch on to evidence. They latched on to dollar signs.
Doctors are not, just one more time, they're not there to affirm you. They're there to treat you. Now, if you come in and go, I have a broken leg, and they go, yeah, you have a broken leg. You don't leave it at that. You fix the fucking leg. You don't go, yeah, you have a broken leg. Come back next week. I'll tell you again. That'll be $500. And then they never treat it. So you're a permanent patient for them. There you go. If they did that, it would be called malpractice and you could sue the shit out of them. But you do it with gender affirming care to where these people are getting fucking mutilated, to where they're having years and years and years and years of surgeries to take care of the surgery you gave them.
Yep.
You know how pissed off I'd be if I had to go back surgery every couple of years because of my neck, Jack?
Oh my God, yeah.
I'm already annoyed because I probably should go in and have them look at my throat, but I don't want another surgery based on the surgeries I've already fucked up a little bit. You know what? That's enough. I don't want to make it worse.
Well, and the surgeries they're doing to these kids are major life alterations. Like you're going to have to pee differently.
Yeah.
There may be leakage. You may end up wearing adult diapers. You may never have an orgasm.
Wait, stop. You will never have an orgasm.
Yeah, you'll be sterilized, obviously, even though they keep denying that. It's the type of stuff that is major. I mean, this is, you're looking at spending 50, 60 years potentially living like this. Maybe less, maybe more. And they're like, oh yeah, kids can make that decision. No, some adults I know can't handle decisions on that level.
I do agree that gender affirming care for adults is probably malpractice. But they're adults and they can make up their own minds, and as long as they have actual informed consent on it, and by actually informed, letting them know all of the possible shit that can go wrong.
Yeah,
all of it. Don't hide any of that shit. Then I mean, you're an adult, you can do it. I still think it's malpractice 100% because you're not fixing anything. You're not even really trying to fix anything. You're trying to put a band-aid on it and call it good.
The fact that there's really no psychology behind any of this, there's no treatment anymore. They just sort of rubber stamp it. It's all perfunctory. You just, oh yeah, you're dysphoric. Okay, you said so that must be true. Here's your form. Have fun. That is what sickens me the most.
Yeah, it's again, if you're an adult, like we've talked about Buck Angel, she seems to be living her best life, and if that works, I guess, you know, but I just can't imagine any other medical circumstance where they do that. Where if you can fix it, you do, or you at least keep trying. You don't just throw a Band-Aid on it and, you know, every couple of weeks we're going to change that Band-Aid.
Well, what gets me is, sorry.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, there's we're getting your audio ducking a little bit.
Oh, sorry about that.
What gets me is that most of these kids that are getting these surgeries aren't dysphoric.
No.
That's the part that bothers me. It's not actually for anything for them. They're just butchering people that are following a trend and will probably regret it later. The trenders are the ones that are going to have the massive regrets later.
Dark Resurrect, thank you for that. Feminist $12. Woo. As somebody who works in healthcare, it disgusts me that we have moved from health of the patient to health of the CEO/CFO. Patients be damned, just don't get sued. And that's another reason I don't think the APA is going to come out, no matter what the actual results of their survey show. Their systemic review, because they don't want their members to get sued. You think they're going to open themselves up to a suit? Really?
Yeah.
Anybody who's holding on, and look, maybe it's a good first step, but this would open them up to lawsuits because they're the ones who recommended this shit.
You'd think so. Oh, thank you, Furry Kitten. My little retard, a tabby bruiser of a tom-tom, gets his knackers nicked. Oh, they are now Zemzir, and her little retard was a progressive in giving them gender-affirming care. I don't know. Maybe.
Prospero says the AAP, I think she means the AAP. The AAP fears the ABA, the American Bar Association. So does the AMA. Yeah, since both of them have gone to the mat for this, and this isn't Antifa, it's not Antifa, where they can claim like they're doing in the Andy No case. Well, it's just an idea. You can't sue them. The AMA and the AAP are actual organizations that have their own money, and they absolutely could get the shit suit out of them for this shit. So if I'm these guys, the kids who are already starting to have their, doubts about this stuff, the detransitioners and shit, I sue everybody. I make them prove that it's actual treatment and that they're not just in it for the money. I sue the fuck out of them for malpractice.
That's what a couple of them are doing now. And they're probably going to get a big cash settlement.
I don't think that'll happen right off. I think it's gonna take one jury to finally do that, and I think that'll probably be a few years. I hope I'm wrong.
I hope so too, because I mean, what they did to some of these kids just Frankensteinian.
Because all they'll do is point and go, "We told you what could happen." Yeah, you told an obviously mentally ill patient what could happen, and had them. You wouldn't let them sign a contract to buy a car, for fuck's sake. That would be that would be predatory.
Yeah, and doing this to kids, man, I got a real issue with that. Like you said, adults, you can make your own decisions. You're Frankensteinian. It's like Frankenstein, but it's like Shakespearean. Shakespeare being the root word. Yeah, don't judge me, Frosted. I see you out there.
We all knew what you meant, and you used it properly.
Thank you, Dark Resurrect, for that feminist donation. What sucks is these institutions could get away with this due to daddy government funding healthcare now. Yep, they have endless supplies of money coming in.
Mengele and Jack, Frankenstein is small potatoes in comparison. Fair enough, Prospero. Fair enough.
Yeah, but too many people don't know who Dr. Mengele was, unfortunately, but most people know who Frankenstein is.
That's fair too. You went pop culture.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough.
And it did mean Frankenstein. You are correct, Dangerous.
All right. We're gonna move back to the impeachment the indictment for a moment.
Yeah.
Jim Jordan on Fox News talking about Mr. Jack Smith. And this is something we have not talked about on the show. It's why we're highlighting it here.
No, I think you said this earlier, Martha, and I agree with you because I heard Andy McCarthy say this. The political overlay to all this, you see that happening. The simple selection of Jack Smith. Remember, Jack Smith is the guy who was trying to prosecute the very people who were being targeted by the Obama IRS back during the lowest learner thing a decade ago. So
that's 100% true. And the IRS didn't even ask him to do it. So what happens is a story comes out in, I think it was the New York Times, about how the new rules after what's the case that changed the landscape of political donations? I forget the name of it. Why am I missing this?
I don't know.
Prospero will know it. The one that made it that all the liberals hate. It was because of the Hillary Clinton thing. But anyway, it changes the landscape. Citizens United. Thank you, Stevie. Because of Citizens United, the landscape has changed, and there may be bad actors out there who are misusing the 501c4s, not the 3s, the 4s. And so Jack Smith, who is at Government Integrity Office at the time reaches out to the FBI or to the IRS and says, we need to talk to you guys about this because maybe there's something we can prosecute. And the IRS, the people who are already abusing the system to punish their political opponents, says there's nothing to see here. And Jack Smith comes back with, yeah, but we need to see it anyway. Maybe there's something you guys aren't looking at. So he was desperate to go after people for that stuff. He was trying to go punish these people with no fucking evidence whatsoever, based on a goddamn story in the New York Times about what might happen.
Yeah, I think he's a glory hound.
He's a douchebag. He is an absolute douchebag. And his misuse of the system. Do I have that video? I'm almost positive. Who sent me that video? Damn it. You guys are so nice in sending me videos and stuff, but they all get lost sometimes. But Jack Smith may have got himself in trouble here, Jack.
Yeah. Let's hope so.
Oh, here it is. This one is from, what is it called? Conservative Brief. And this is how long is this? This is 4 minutes. I don't want to watch this whole thing. I just want to see. Fuck. You know what? We'll just have to talk about it instead. Alan Dershowitz is on a panel, and they're talking about the indictment, specifically count number 4. The what is it? Robbing people of their rights, or whatever the exact terminology is. And Dershowitz points out that if it's decided what Donald Trump said on that day was fine, that there's no legal issue with it, then Jack Smith indicting and trying Donald Trump for that is Jack Smith, with the government backing, stopping Donald Trump from using his rights.
Yep.
He's literally opened himself up for it. And you know what, Jack? Some of the stuff in there, like retweeting something, there's no law against retweeting somebody.
No. Especially because in the indictment, he spends like 5 pages talking about the January 6th insurrection thing nonsense.
Yeah.
And Trump's not even being charged with that stuff.
Nope.
So
that's just inflammatory.
Oh, absolutely. So this all looks very vindictive.
And yeah, he's opening himself up to prosecution. And hey, Jack, not you, Jack Smith. I don't know if you know this, but neither party stays in power forever. And you really you've opened yourself up to this shit. So Smith went too far into purely First Amendment issues. Prospero, you're not wrong. This is a First Amendment case.
Oh,
the whole
absolutely.
thing's a First Amendment case. And they even admit at the very beginning of the thing that Trump has the right to say shit.
Just not stuff we don't like.
And then they're trying to use some really, really backhanded ways of punishing Trump. And it's nonsensical. Now, the video that I was going to watch, I will throw into chat anyway, but it's like 4 minutes long to get to the one part that I wanted to watch. So that's my bad, you guys. I should have found a smaller clip with just that part in it, or had it queued up to start. Least professional monkey on the internet. I don't know how many times I can tell you that before you finally believe me.
Never.
Just saying. All right. So what'd you bring tonight, Jack?
Not a lot.
Well, that's all right. We have about an hour left because I am going to play Baldur's Gate 3 if it released in full today. And many people have been asking my opinion of it because I have played the early access. I've been playing it since it first. I played it when it first released, and then I've refreshed myself with it, knowing the game was coming out. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to do a kind of a review and a episode 1 playthrough.
Oh.
That should be a lot of fun. And no, I'm not going to hump the bear. I play a male character. I will be banging the bitches. I'm trying to claim my titties.
Sure.
I'm just saying.
That's like
Look,
my take.
I'll be honest with you. If they had a female druid in there who shapeshifted into a bear, I'd probably do it.
Ew.
It's a video game. You can be degenerate. I don't care. I'm just saying. And I might bang the lizard bitch too. What are they
Just gonna
called?
lay your eggs. You're gonna be like, they're not mine.
Githyanki? How do you say it?
Githyanki?
Githyanki. Yeah. I might give me some Githyanki puss. I don't know how it's going to go. Parent sues after orchestra teacher holds assembly to announce gender. Jesus fuck. Parent sues after orchestra teacher holds assembly to announce gender transition. What age is this? Middle school. Beautiful. A Wisconsin parent is suing her school district after a middle school orchestra teacher assembled students to announce that he was undergoing transgender treatment. So you're getting heavy therapy? Is that what he meant?
No.
Oh. Because his parents didn't accept him for who he was as a child.
Excuse me, everybody that's required to listen to me. You're my friends. I'm going to tell you something very personal. This is creepy, man. This is really creepy shit.
Especially adding in the part that my parents didn't accept me as a child.
Yeah.
Just before the end of the school year in June, students were gathered for the announcement by middle school orchestra teacher Jacob Pusio. By Jacob Pussy, a man who told students he wants to be addressed as Miss Pussy from then on. All right. The rest of it we can't read. It's behind a paywall. That's fine. But
yeah, you get the idea of it.
Yeah, this is enough. They're your students, not your friends. This is not one. I'm sorry, at that point you shouldn't be in the school anymore. And there's gonna be people who are mad. Like, you don't think they should? I do not think they should be in charge of children. No. They just showed an incredible lack of good judgment. Everybody involved in putting on that assembly should probably be fired.
Yes.
This is not something that you do not need to burden the kids with this shit.
No, it's weird. I liked not knowing a lot about our teachers. It showed a professionalism. You know, this is just creepy. Why are you telling kids about your sex stuff?
Stevie J asks, why do they all seek validation from children? Because children are easily impressed. That's why.
Yeah, and you have a captive audience. Kids look up to adults, so they're going to accept you. And let's face it, some of these people are perverts.
We've gotten to a point with a lot of this stuff that nobody gives a shit when somebody comes out and says it. I mean, we even read an article about a person who came out as gay and they were mad because nobody told them how brave they were.
Yeah.
Because it's not brave to come out as gay.
No, nobody cares anymore.
Nobody cares.
You missed the window in the 90s.
But so the only people who are still kind of in that mindset are the kids who they're preaching it to these kids that, hey, you don't understand how hard it is to do this. And then they come out and do it and like, see how brave I am. And the kids are, oh my God, look how brave Mr. Pussy is. Oh,
That's
sorry, Miss Pussy. Miss Pussy. It's not my fault his name is so close to Pussy.
Yeah. Just call him Mr. Garrison.
I didn't name the fucker. I feel like he was misnamed at birth.
Yeah. It's also tiresome.
We're all sick of your narcissism. Okay, yeah. Except we're not. That's the problem. There's still a lot of people who indulge this bullshit. They may not go to the lengths that they used to, you know, celebrating and oh my God, look at. But there's still tons of them like, oh my, they get the hate that they get because they're gonna have to lead such a difficult existence. Did you know, out of the 330 million people in America, 87 trans people were killed last year. Thank you, Furry Kitten. Look, if I'm playing a third-person perspective, I want to spend time looking at leather, red hair, plates, is that how you say that? And maybe a cigarette and call me in the morning. Look, there is the one cleric chick. That's who I banged in my short playthrough that I've done so far. Yeah, she's kind of hot. I like her. We don't get to see her with her armor off. I mean, that would have been nice. Although I started up the game, Jack, and a warning pops up allowing you to turn off nudity. So I'm interested to see what else happens in this game.
Oh.
I wonder if there's like a big schlong gonna, like Rudy Giuliani's gonna run across the screen.
Chasing a big-breasted woman.
The moral panic don't help either. Ignore a lot of these. You know what, Prosper, we just got to have you on again sometime. We haven't talked in forever.
Yeah.
But they'll get bored and shut the fuck up. I hear you, and eventually, yes, and eventually, probably. Monk gonna forget all about 7 days. That's not even possible. It will get put on the back burner for a little bit. But I hear what you're saying there, Prospero, and that happens with a lot of stuff because this is a trend. Let's just be honest about what's going on here. The problem is this trend takes a deeper commitment than, you know, just throwing on black eyeliner does. This you have to start living this shit. And this stuff has been building. I mean, it's blowing up now, but we've been following it on YouTube. YouTubers been watching these people we're getting close to a decade.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I would like to believe that's going to eventually pull back, but especially when they're pushing it on the kids until they stop that shit, I just don't see it dying down anytime soon.
No, parents need to stand up and really push back, or this is going to get even dumber.
Yep. Frosted Glass, thank you. Good idea. Clerics can use lay on hands to heal STDs. Indeed, except for they're called STIs now because they're infections, not diseases. I don't know why that is important. It's still an STD. I'm just giving you shit, but that's what they call it now. It's an STI. Fuck off. You got herpes. Leave me alone.
They had to change it because of the association of getting the D.
I guess. Do not turn off nudity. Claim your tits. I don't turn off nudity. Now, there might be a part where I have to block the screen. We'll see what happens. I don't know how bad it gets.
Yeah, well, claim your tits.
Prospero says, I get that. And Riley's been around a long time. Talking about Riley Dennis. Yeah, I mean, this stuff has been going for a while. And I think there was a chance to stop it. But as soon as they started pushing it on kids, they're pushing it on kids as young as preschool.
Yeah.
Forget the fact that they claim an infant, a 2-month-old, can show signs of transness because they seem to prefer pink instead of blue. I thought that was a gender construct, you fucking ass. But forget that part. They're literally teaching it to 3-year-olds. And then they applaud them. And what do kids like, man? They like that applause. They like that affirmation from their teachers. And then the teachers get the affirmation right back, and then they rape the kids. So,
yep, pretty much.
Pretty much. I mean, that's the end goal. Oh God. What? This is weird.
Well, it's been a strange day. Seemed fitting.
Lake Tahoe foot fondler nabbed for allegedly touching toes of sleeping women. Oh God, women, can you imagine you feel something touching your toes as you're sleeping, you wake up and that thing's looking at you?
It's all like, hi, sucking on your toes and caressing the webbing between your toes with his fingers gently.
It looks like his head is melting.
He looks suspiciously like a dude I used to play D&D with like 15, 20 years ago.
He looks like he's a pen and paper kind of guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. A brazen man with an apparent foot fetish who allegedly broke into a luxury Nevada resort on 2 separate occasions to cradle unsuspecting women's feet as the victim slept is now in custody. Mark Anthony Gonzalez, 26. That dude's only 26.
Yeah. Yeah. He's probably really short and stocky, like a dwarf.
The years have not been kind to you, sir.
Well, feet will do that to a person.
Who was accused of being the infamous Lake Tahoe foot fondler, was arrested at his home in Atwater, California. Where's Lake Tahoe? That's Nevada.
Yeah, it's
how
on
far?
The border, I believe.
Oh, is it just on the border?
I think so.
Okay. Anyway, on Tuesday, 2 women staying at the Club Wyndham South Shore Hotel in Nevada each woke up at 4:30 a.m. on a Sunday and Monday, respectively, over the July 4th holiday, to find the creep fondling their feet.
That's little piggies at market. That's little piggies going in my mouth. The big piggy woke up. Bye-bye.
During the early morning hours between July 1st and 3rd, an adult male entered 2 State Line Resort condominiums by opening unlocked screen doors.
Always lock your doors, kids.
Once inside, he positioned himself at the foot of the bed and rubbed the feet of 2 separate adult females. All right, I got to stop right there. I mean, if he's just rubbing your feet, you're getting a foot massage. Be like, all right, pervert, just don't touch yourself until you're done and out of here. Go ahead and rub my feet.
He was rubbing his wiener with one hand, and he's like, let me claim your feet.
The intruder bolted out of the resort room. The resort rooms through their exterior sliding door after his victims awoke to the terrifying ordeal. I would just, if I'm him and his lawyer, I'm just like, I was offering a massage service. It's a new thing that I'm trying to get the hotel to engage in, is sleep massage.
Yeah, it was a free sample.
Yeah.
The fact that he was dressed like a clown and had his wiener out were just coincidence.
Each female awoke from the sleep as the subject was rubbing their feet. Once awake, the females confronted the male suspect and he fled the scene.
You mean screamed really loud.
For the females involved, seriously, that's scary as shit.
That's terrifying. You don't know what kind of degenerate weirdo this is. He's obviously got a foot fetish, which makes him one of the creepiest people you could run across. At least if you woke up and he was taking pictures of your tits, you'd be like, all right, he's a pervert, but the kind of pervert we know. But he's touching your feet, and those people are weird.
You wake up to this guy rubbing a part of your body, any part of your body, and you're a woman alone, man. The first thing in your mind has got to be, I'm about to get raped.
Oh, yeah. That's why I said she was probably screaming, not like, excuse me, sir, what are you doing? I didn't order that.
He's like, I got to claim my feet.
Claim my feet.
Come here, Bigfoot. Come on, that was funny. That was a good here he is blown up. Isn't that even nicer?
He's a hefty fella.
God bless, man.
Look at that neck. I bet he's
What
short and stocky.
That's not his neck. That's his deltoids, man.
Yeah, he's probably a fairly big dude. Whether he's fat or muscular, I can't tell from that picture. But he's probably short and really stocky like a dwarf.
You gotta love that they included a picture of feet in this shit.
Yeah.
All right. Be careful out there, guys. Lock your doors. Doesn't matter where you're at. Dude, when I stay in a hotel, I use every lock that they give me.
Yeah, I've even put chairs in front of a few doors in my day, just in case. Like, this place is extra sketchy. Let's move some furniture.
When the first year, because we've done it 3 years now, the first year that we went down to my father-in-law's for the summer vacation, we're poor, Jack, so we found the cheapest hotel. Now we go to the second cheapest hotel. Because that first one was sketchy as shit. I put everything in front of the door, engaged. They had only 2 locks. Both were engaged. And I did not sleep well. That place was like a crack house, man.
Yeah. Oh, dude. I went to a trade convention when I was running my comic shop. And my business partner was like, yeah, I booked a hotel and everything. We go to the hotel because this is a 2-day event. And we're only like 2.5 hours away from, home anyway. And I was like, why don't we just drive home? And he's like, no, I got this place for like $40. I'm like, oh God.
Oh my.
The people that ran the place were Indian, and they had fly swatters, so they could kill all the bugs they saw. And they kept saying that he booked the hotel online, but they didn't acknowledge that. So he's arguing with them, and I'm walking around outside. All the entrances to the place are outside, right? There's a dude in his sweatpants dealing drugs, like
Nice.
on the 2nd floor. Just like he looks at me and is like, "What's up? You guys lost?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "We don't get a lot of white people here." And I'm like, this guy slinging crack is telling me we don't get a lot of white people here. There's prostitutes all over the place. It was a fucking nightmare. And finally, my business partner got mad enough that he's like, "We're going." And I was like, "Fine with me."
Yep, that's probably the best way. Because that's nasty, man.
Yeah.
You was gonna get raped there.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, I'm not sleeping here.
Oh my God. So yeah, ladies, make sure you lock your doors, especially if you're alone. I still feel like if I'm going to sleep, because they said unlocked screen doors, I don't know if I would even bother locking the screen door because the wooden door would be locked. Why are you sleeping with just the screen door open?
I assume it's a patio door with the screen. Like that you could access to like the balcony or whatever.
You should still have a main door that's closed and locked.
Yeah, but if he's coming in through like the sliding glass is open and the screen door is closed, you don't expect somebody to come in through the balcony because women don't think of security measures. Whereas guys are like, this giant glass door is a problem.
Yes. The last hotel we stayed at, they have this big interior atrium thing that they're building. And outside the window, which the window didn't open, but there's a deck that runs all the way around the rooms there.
Nope.
And I'm like, I don't like this shit at all. Because while the window didn't open, it's glass. It don't take much to break glass.
Yeah.
But next year, we've already picked out the hotel we're staying at instead. That one, at least, Jack, I'll give them credit. They tried, but yeah, I just got to save up a little bit more for next year.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. We got another story here. Tafari Campbell's drowning death is, this is the Obama chef, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Tafari Campbell's drowning death is deemed an accident, but Massachusetts police are still withholding basic information about Obama's personal chef under the guise of an ongoing investigation. Look, guys, it was an accident. I'm not saying Sasha or Melina or whatever those little brats are called killed him on purpose. I'm just saying one of them hit him in the head with a stick.
I think he was plowing one of them, and Obama hit him in the head with a stick.
Reportedly, they were out. The Obamas themselves were out, but nobody knows where the girls were that night.
Yeah.
Maybe what happened, maybe he was plowing one of them and the other, and one of them found out.
Or got jealous.
And
they seem like pretty spoiled children, so.
Emmy said, why would the daughters kill him? In all honesty, all joking aside, an accident can happen. Like I explained with the Kennedy thing, other than, a little drunk driving, which wasn't all that illegal back then. He didn't set out to murder the chick. He just kind of let her die. Drove into a lake and is like, I better go get a lawyer.
Take a nap.
Yeah, instead of breaking the glass to help the girl out.
Why would you want to do that?
Yeah, accident, playing around, goofing off, hit him in the head, whatever. I mean, just something accidentally happens, and suddenly he's floating in the water, and instead of being like, oh, we need to bring him to shore, they just leave him. I'm just saying. I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm just saying that's what happened.
Well, Obama did have a black eye and some messed up hand, so
Did he?
yeah. Did you see that article?
Maybe he beat one of his daughters after they told him they killed a man.
Oh, yeah, that's possible.
I don't know. Because according to everything, the Obamas were out. They were out and about, hobnobbing like they do.
No, I think he got into it with the chef earlier, and then the daughter may have done him in. Or, Michael did it.
The Obama finally came out and made a statement about him today, praising him for sharing his talents with the family.
He was a really good chef.
Good chef.
And we thought his food was delicious, but he was touching my daughter, so I had to kill him.
His sausage wasn't as good as Michelle's?
Ew.
Tafari Campbell's July 23rd drowning death near the Obama's Martha Vineyard estate was ruled an accident. Again, accident does not mean there was nobody else involved. But police continue to withhold information. Authorities are rejecting requests for the identity of the sole witness and the 911 caller, citing an exemption that allows police to withhold information. The head of the region's First Amendment coalition told DailyMail.com that police are abusing the public records law. Of course they are.
Yeah, I'm shocked.
Yeah, because the story goes that somebody calls in and then they go get in a boat and go out and they're trying to find him and they keep coming back to shore to give more information, which is really weird because didn't they find him not too far from where he was fucking supposed to be? What is it? Not parasailing. That's the only thing in my brain. Paddleboarding. Yeah. It's 8 feet of water. It's not like he went that far. I'm telling you, one of the Obama girls was involved in this.
Somebody from the family definitely was. And witnesses said that the other person was a woman. Mm-hmm. So we'll see.
So we know it wasn't Michelle.
Well, it could have been long hair.
No, yeah, it looked like a woman from no, it couldn't have been Michelle. Because they've been like, it was a dude with really long hair wearing a bikini. Oh, God. That's going to be in my mind. You think Obama ever looks at Michelle and says, come here, big tits?
No, but
I
sure
hope so.
It starts with big and ends in dong.
Come here, big wang. He wants to be, international. State police officials are making sure that the other agencies involved in the response follow their lead. Sources who participated in the initial multi-jurisdictional effort. I still haven't seen this really hit the mainstream at all. It's another scandal that's not a scandal because they're not covering it. This is a dude who dies right outside the ex-president's house.
Yep.
Who worked for the president. Yeah. Whatever. These people are gonna hide until they're forced to release this shit, and by then nobody's gonna be paying any attention to it.
Yep.
Although maybe it'll be a big enough scandal that it will finally blow up. Frosted Glass, thank you. Darkened foot fondler skin, and you have Michelle.
Ew.
That's kind of horrible, actually. In fairness to Michelle, she does a better job taking care of making sure she doesn't have a 5 o'clock shadow. I'm just saying. Yeah, something fishy's going on here.
Yeah.
That 8 feet of water just keeps coming back to me, Jack.
Strong swimmer. Yeah, it's a little weird.
Now, and especially with them ruling it an accident and not a medical issue. If he had a heart attack, all right, some kind of medical issue that put him in the water where he couldn't swim, all right, that would make sense. But a strong swimmer who's been out there many times, 8 feet of water, there's something not right there.
Toxicology hasn't come back yet, so
maybe that he was smoking crack with the The Obama girls.
Well, I don't know.
But
He
even,
found out about their connections to Weinstein.
I mean, then with there should still have been some kind of medical thing you could see, right? Like a reaction to the drug and he has a heart attack. Or, something like that, even without the toxicology report.
No, it's hard to gauge that kind of facial reaction when you're holding them underwater.
I guess. Close to shore. So yeah, if it's only 8 feet of water, it's not very far out. So anyhow.
Real quick. Thank you, Evolved Potato. Now, who is confirming the Obamas weren't at home? Is it the same people that are withholding info? Also, I could easily believe Barack could be mistaken as a woman. He does have women mom genes on a lot, so there's that. But yeah, the police are the ones saying they weren't at home.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why. I still lean towards the daughter, especially the way those girls just ran right after.
Yeah, they did sort of just cut and run, didn't they?
Yep. Anyhow, I'm mad at you, Jack, because I already saw the picture from this video. God bless.
What did I do?
Those glasses. Okay, you're not attractive anyway, which isn't your fault. You got bad genes, but why do you got to make it worse with the ball sack haircut and those glasses?
Well, look, that's quirky and unique.
No,
instead
it's
of
not.
Trying not to be ugly.
This is how you scare your grandchildren.
Yeah, like this.
I don't want to go to grandma's house. All right.
So there's a conversation that goes around a lot where people who habitually use gendered honorifics like sir or ma'am ask very kindly what a good gender neutral replacement for that would be. And the
We don't need one. It's sir or ma'am. We don't need to replace all these words. All right. So this is a dude, or is this a non-binary?
That's a woman in reality, but a non-binary in their world, I think.
All right. So it's a lesbian who wants to be special?
It's just some special person. I don't know.
My red stapler. Yeah, you're not wrong.
most common answer from people like me who don't like gendered words applied to us is learn to drop the honorific, because most of us don't like to be put in that situation in a quick interaction with a stranger. And
life's rough, isn't it? That's your big problem in life. Not where you're getting your next meal. Not is that leopard coming over here. No, it's don't call me sir, ma'am. I'm a unique, special person.
I just can't imagine, how you doing today, sir? Or in this case, ma'am, because you're still clearly a woman. How you doing today, ma'am? And you're like, I am so uncomfortable right now because of this. I mean, my whole fucking day. You're a grown ass woman. You got to be older than me.
Yeah, it's a rough life. Getting these microaggressions really wear me down because you're a baby.
Fuck you, fat bitch. Anyway, sorry.
And the asker will protest that they don't feel like they're respecting people without the honorific. Friends, I see you really trying, and I understand that you've been conditioned really hard.
I don't give a shit at all. Just for the record. You're trying really hard. I'm not. I don't care anymore.
Yeah, trying is overrated, I assure you.
You beat the care right the fuck out of me.
Yeah, because it's never going to be good enough. It's always something to complain about.
Yep.
To use this kind of language. But I have to ask, who is the respect for?
You dumbass.
No, not if you misgender them.
Jack, when I was little, they actually taught us to use sir and ma'am.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because it was respectful.
Yeah, respectful to the person you were saying it to. Not.
Yeah.
How the fuck is saying sir Like if I call somebody a sir, how is that respectful to me? What the fuck are you blabbering about? I hate these fucking people.
In this scenario, because we're telling you the best way to respect us is to not use an honorific there. Standards of communication change, and if you're committed to really respecting people, you might want to reconsider the script in your head.
All right. The script in my head, which I've just reconsidered, is to only call you twat.
Tubby twat.
Tubby twat. Oh, you know what? That's even better.
Yeah.
It's like a Teletubby nobody wants around.
Yeah. Whines a lot.
Good God almighty. Who's the respect for? You. Just because you don't take it that way doesn't mean that's not what it is, you fucking fat piece. And you know it. You know it. You even said you see they're trying hard. And even then, it's not fucking enough. It's never enough.
Never gonna be enough. They have to their struggle is victimhood. That they're always going to be the victim no matter what, because that's what gets them the attention. These people are just narcissists.
Yeah, I'm just going to be like, you know what? I'm going to call you ma'am because, as you said, language changed, and we stopped calling you ma'am for a while, but it's changed back. Get used to it. Language changes.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't do that because you changed it to a way I don't like it anymore. Fuck off.
You have to change your entire linguistic pattern for me. Don't you know how special I am? You're nobody to me. I don't care about you.
This is not the video I expected from you.
I know.
I want to find the other one. Did somebody send that to me? Shit.
Probably.
Do you have the one with the oh, you know, I know who did it. Sugar Tits did it. Doo-doo. Whoops.
It was Sugar Tits. I'm claiming those tits.
By the way, her latest video with Bearing is awesome. You should check it out.
Oh.
All right. We have a little presentation for the children out there who watch TikTok.
For the TikTok.
The question comes through for this confused woman who cut off her titties and for some reason is wearing her belt all the way higher than my grandfather ever did. Says, do you have to be on testosterone in order to have the surgery? The bad part of this is she's actually kind of pretty. And she's just destroyed herself.
Yeah, because now she's crazy.
Do I need to be on hormones to get top surgery? The short answer is no. There's a common misconception that all surgeons require hormones for you to get top surgery, but that's not true.
No, some of them are even worse pieces of shit who don't even go through that step before they cut off your titties.
Yeah. Now she has man boobs.
She really does. She has old man tits.
Yeah. Like, she looks like she's like in her 50s. This is creepy. This is some deep fake shit. That's not her real face. That's a small, middle-aged, bald Italian man.
What is funny about that is this? It's so bizarre. The head has been CGI'd onto a random body, is what Tits said.
Yeah, see, me and Sugar Tits are on the same page.
You're on the same page. Now we have to watch that. Actually, we don't need to watch anymore. But it's just them. What you got to do is just call around to other places and ask if they treat non-binary people. And if they do, then you don't have to get the hormones before they cut off your boobies.
I really feel bad for these people in like 10 or 20 years. They are going to be so incredibly screwed up. Way more than they are now.
I was going to say they're already screwed up, but you're not wrong.
Yeah, they're screwed up now, but just wait. It's going to get completely bonkers.
These, I don't even know how you recover from that.
I don't either.
Imagine something where for some reason you had in your head that something was one way and then you find out it's not. And how like that just messes up your whole day there for a while. Like, fuck, I could have swore.
Yeah, it could shatter your entire worldview.
And then imagine that being about you cutting off your junk.
Yeah, like this woman will never know the joys of breastfeeding a child. Like looking at the child's eyes while it's looking at you. It's tragic.
Hey, but don't worry, because it's reversible because you can get fake boobies.
Yeah, but you can't
feed
bond
with
with your kid that way.
Nope.
Oh, you'll probably be sterile anyway, so I guess that's moot.
Dangerous ask who put her face on Biden's body. I know, and that belt I have never seen a person wear their pants that high. that was bothering me all throughout that video.
Yeah, especially because they're jeans. They're not trousers. So you don't have to hike them up like that to keep them on, especially when you're using a belt.
Oh, my God.
I've got to get my suspenders to cover my old man boobies. Ugh.
She looks like she's maybe 22, and she got old man tits.
Yeah, she's going to get a gut next. Just watch.
And we're not even talking like, 40, 50. No, those are like 70-year-old man tits. Your doctor fucked up bad.
Or did a perfect job. I don't know. She's like, I want to look like a real man. He'd be like, all right, a real 70-year-old man. Here we go.
It's not really a good advertisement for whatever doctor she shopped herself around to cut off her boobies. Because nobody wants to come out of it looking like that.
Yeah.
Because she still got titties. They're just man titties.
Do you think she took a picture of her dad shirtless in?
Probably. Or more like her grandpa. Nasty bitch. But anyway, yeah, so TikTok's out there teaching your kids how to make sure you go out there and get your boobies cut off without having to go through any kind of real treatment. Not even the hormone treatment, Jack.
My kids are never getting on the internet if I ever have kids.
She goes on at one point to say she doesn't take the hormones because she doesn't like what tea does to your body. They all love to call it tea. I'm so sick of the fucking letter T because of the internet.
Yeah, well, I just think of the T virus from Resident Evil.
Oh, you also have spilling the tea, Jack.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm sick of tea.
Thank you, Frosted Glass. Jack, I dare you to tell me that she didn't have the face of Lisa from The Room. Oh, that's fair. That video needs to be intercut with "You're tearing me apart, Lisa." Yeah, that actually would work really well, Frosted. They put Lisa's face on the one dude, the foreigner. His name escapes me now.
Peter says psychotherapy seems like a more appropriate treatment. You're not wrong. But she skips everything, goes straight to boobie cutoff. I don't think hormones are the way to go either. But at least that shows that there was some other attempt to try stuff. And they're like, nah, just cut off the boobies.
Yeah, Tommy Wiseau. Thank you. I can't remember his name for some reason.
No doctor should be doing that 100%. All right. So this next one, this one's a little nicer, right?
Yeah. I thought we'd finish up the show with something a little calmer.
Mm-hmm. All right. Obviously, that is a kitty cat on your screen in a night vision for some reason. Kitty cat, I don't know how choppy that came through. Sometimes the video looks good, Jack. Sometimes it looks like ass. The kitty cat just slowly turns the camera so that the owner can see the dog is chewing on the remote. That's awesome.
Narc.
That cat's like, look what he doing. Put his ass outside.
Yeah, cats are a lot smarter than we tend to give them credit for because they understand cause and effect. And he probably didn't realize that this little box thing with the light somehow gets him in trouble. So he was like, oh, fuck that dog.
That cat is awesome, man. Look like shit. That's better. Yeah, like I never have any control over that. And until I get better internet, I never will. So, is what it is. Got a donation, Jack, and then we're going to wrap this one up.
Alrighty.
Thank you guys for coming and joining us tonight. We really do have a great time hanging out.
Oh, yeah.
I saw it come through. Where the hell is it? Well, that's disturbing. It just told me I had a donation from Tyshawn, and I can't find it anywhere.
Try refreshing and
yeah.
Did you look through it? Because sometimes they put them out of order.
Yeah.
Oh, have you considered Panic?
Well, I don't know what it said, and Tyshawn, thank you. Unfortunately, it's not popping up for me, so I I apologize. Isn't it great when everything works right?
Which is so rare for us.
Yeah, sorry, Tyshawn. I saw it come through on the alert over there, but I was talking, and by the time I didn't get to read it also. Thank you for the donation. Guys, thanks for hanging out with us. Thank you for sticking with us through the silliness and the grossness, because some of this was gross. We love you. Thank you for the donations. You guys are awesome. Anything you want to show?
I got nothing. I haven't been able to work on anything in a while. But thank you for the donations. You guys are awesome. We appreciate you coming out and watching us and hanging out, because it's always a good time for us.
I need to get something to eat. I am starving. And then I will be on Ranting Monkey Games playing some Baldur's Gate 3 and giving my opinions on it, because lots of people ask me, and we'll just do it in video form because it's easier. Plus, Baldur's Gate reviews are doing really well right now, so why not, right?
Yeah, well, jump on that train.
Yeah, I don't often get a chance to do that because a lot of video games don't interest me. There's a lot of big games that come out, I'm like, I don't care. So when I can, I try to work the algorithm a little bit. Thank you for hanging out, Jack. A pleasure as always.
Always glad to be here.
Ranting Monkey Games right here on YouTube. Be over there in a little while. Make sure you follow. Take care of yourselves and have a wonderful evening. We'll see y'all next time.
Bye, everybody.
When you cut off your titties and get man boobies instead, Giuliani won't fuck you.